Grayscale's GBTC ETF continues its staggering outflow trend, draining over $12 billion since its inception. Now, analysts predict a bleak forecast with fears mounting of Bitcoin plummeting to 25,789 in the next 30 days. Stay tuned as the crypto market braces for potential turbulence ahead. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's start. So we're starting off with a quantitative tightening next month. Looking at this one right here, we could possibly see that Bitcoin block rewards halving countdown has a 30 days radio, and we are getting it on the 20th April 2024. The halving will start. So let's see how it will play out. 1 month left. Next one, GBTC has mastered the number go down technology, and it continues on crashing the coins on us. They almost lost 50% of all the coins, and it's just 300,000 Bitcoins left to sell, and the price still continues to grow, we could see. So basically, we can understand that once they are done with it, it's like 3-4 months left, we are going to see a massive explosion on the price of a Bitcoin. Why yesterday's price action is so bullish for Bitcoin is this. It proves that ETFs are not the only buy game in town, and there are other buyers outside of the ETFs that are in play now. These buyers are powerful. They moved Bitcoin price up 10% while the ETFs were net outflows. So we are going to hit a period here where we have all of these buyers known and unknown pursuing a 450 Bitcoin a day. Also, Bitcoin mega candle on the Binance, and some glitch happened over here with Bitcoin going up on Binance up to the $138,000, and I feel like it's not just a glitch, and it's the reality that we are about to witness soon. Breaking news as Mr. 100 still stacking up as he got a new purchase over here just today, plus 100 Bitcoins, 6 million used, and he continues to buy more. Why am I so invested in Bitcoin as an 18-year-old? Generational wealth. Bitcoin will provide my future self and family with wealth, freedom, security, and endless opportunity. Second one, combat inflation. We are all being robbed. Bitcoin is extremely scarce, allowing me to preserve my wealth without being destroyed by inflation. Third one, self-sovereignty. Due to the peer-to-peer nature of Bitcoin, it plays a big role in my goal of complete self-sovereignty. 4. Best vehicle for my wealth. So Bitcoin is undisputedly the most efficient and greatest vehicle for my wealth. As Sailor says, there is no second best. 5. Greatest wealth transfer in history. Anyone holding Bitcoin will be a part of the greatest wealth transfer in the human history. Do you want to miss out? I don't. The small sacrifices now may seem crazy to most, but opportunities Bitcoin will provide are well worth it. Bitcoin has changed my life and will eventually change yours. Long life, freedom, and a low time preference state of mind. Study Bitcoin, your future self will thank you. The next one we are going for is the final resistance level has been flipped. At this point, there is nothing standing in the way of this multi-year falling wedge playing out. 3 years in the making, target $100,000. And in the past 9 years, Bitcoin has generated the bulk of its return in overbought conditions. A high RSI isn't bearish. In fact, it's bullish. Send it higher. Bitcoin data has almost unanimously reached levels that only come within the 1 year of the cycle top, and one of the most simple cycle top and bottom determiners that I have used for years in the monthly RSI double tops. Every cycle top has ended in an overbought territory of the monthly RSI. 2017's double top was much more subtle due to the smooth parabolic curve, as the first tops have always formed at a 90 or higher RSI value with a slight diminished each cycle. And here are some takeaways from our current position. As the cycle is not over, there is the major room for increase. Both tops have yet to be made. The only thing we need is our patience hats. Also, the SEC use Ripple and the price of XRP drops over 50%. And the SEC goes after Vitalik and the price of Ethereum goes up more than Bitcoin. So let's see how it plays out for Ethereum on the long run when it actually plays out as the SEC continues attacking them. I'm starting to get FOMO. Part of me already feels like Bitcoin is out of reach and not at the current levels, but at the future prices. So I'm starting to think that I've been underestimating the velocity at which this cycle is going to occur and the magnitude of the ETF. As far as I'm concerned, the immediacy of my wealth being driven into the Bitcoin is my primary focus for the next 3 to 6 months, and I have a feeling price is going to become out of a reach soon, and maybe I am being bull-hearted, but everything is pointing towards the greatest bull run ever. So my brain is starting to hurt, and I've listened to too many highly reputable sources describing financial waves of capital into Bitcoin that are undeniable and by nature conservative estimates. Conservative estimates that are sending us to $300,000, $1 million over the next couple of years NFA. So I thought I stacked hard enough over the last few years, but I'm starting to realize it wasn't enough and I'm not prepared for what's coming. The next one we're going for is the Grayscale's $12 billion plus bleeding now sinking Bitcoin ETF net inflows. Grayscale's GBTC has bled over $12 billion since the inception, with the outflow trend persisting. Low inflows to other ETFs are becoming unable to counterbalance GBTC's outflows. The US spot ETF market has witnessed the third consecutive day of the net negative flows, losing the recent 12.1 billion peak. So data from European asset manager CoinShares has highlighted that the unyielding outflows from the Grayscale Investments Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund GBTC are now impacting the net flow of funds to the US ETFs. And in a recent post on X, James Butterfield, the head of research at CoinShares, disclosed that the Grayscale's GBTC negative flows now surpass the dwindling inflows from the newly introduced Bitcoin ETFs by the largest margin since their inception. Butterfield noted that the funds going into these Bitcoin ETFs have witnessed a total of $750 million in negative flows so far this week, as the figure coincides with the Grayscale's GBTC outflows surpassing the $12 billion threshold as depicted in the chart accompanying Butterfield's tweet. Grayscale's outflow greater than the slowing inflows from the new Bitcoin ETF issuers by the largest amounts since its launch. The next one, Bitcoin price driven by the bigger forces than ETFs, top analyst says. So in a recent post on the next social media platform, Eric Balchunas, a senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg, opined that the Bitcoin ETF flows are not the deciding factor in the price performance of the largest cryptocurrency. Balchunas added that there are bigger forces at work, while pointing to the fact that Bitcoin's price action does not always correlate with the ETF flows, as Grayscale's record-breaking outflows. As this comes, the Grayscale is experiencing a second wind of outflows, as noted by Balchunas on Wednesday. It bled another almost $282 million, and notably, Grayscale's outflows are greater than the dwindling inflows from the new Bitcoin ETF issuers by the largest amount since launch. So Grayscale's Bitcoin holdings have now collapsed by more than 40% post-launch of a slew of Bitcoin ETFs on January 11th. And net outflows from the American issuers are nearing 749 million since the start of the week so far. And in fact, Grayscale's GBTC has now recorded the biggest outflow in history for any ETF. So, no correlation. Despite the significant GBTC outflows, the Bitcoin price managed to stage a stunning recovery on Tuesday, surpassing 68,000. And as reported by You Today, the lack of hawkishness in the comments made by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell pushed the cryptocurrency prices sharply higher, as Powell has reassured the market about the rate cut outlook, which made various risk assets pay losses. And prior to that, the Bitcoin price plunged below the $61,000. So that's kind of all the information we got for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.